Since 2019, there's been at least 200,000 people incarcerated in America with life sentences. Some guilty, some innocent, but very few with a chance to make it home. These are a few stories from some of those few, the ones that survived those sentences. Therefore, we bring you life after life.
Hello, everybody. This is Greater to Great. Welcome to another episode of Life After Life. Today, I have a very dear friend of mine, Terrancé. How you doing, my brother?
King.
Yes, sir. Good to have you on, man.
The pleasure's mine, bro.
All right. So, tell the people a little bit about yourself. You know, your name, your background, where you're from, to that nature.
Okay, all right. So my name is Terrancé Akins. You know, some people call me the messenger. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I moved around a lot. You know, domestic issues, you know, where I come from, St. Louis, Gary, Indiana, Milwaukee, Nebraska, Nashville. So I've been around, man. So my background is kind of here, and there. And there. We talking about moving, living situation. And no, and I ain't been in no army. I wasn't in the service either, you know.
Gotcha.
It was just, you know, life, you know. So that's kind of the areas I moved in, bro.
All right. So, tell the people a little bit about your upbringing, like your family situation, how you know your raising and all that stuff.
Yeah. So my upbringing, it was very, very dysfunctional. It was very dysfunctional. I come from, you know, my father was a heroin addict. You know, my name Terrancé. I was named after my uncle, actually, Terry. His name was Terrence. So he was a big, you know, drug dealer, notorious, you know what I'm saying? And actually, I was born at the same time that my uncle was being murdered, you know, and they said, actually, I saved my father's life because my father and my uncle was supposed to go to this drug deal at the same time. But my mama, she went into labor with me, so my father couldn't go with my uncle. And so, you know, my father came to the hospital. My uncle, he wouldn't do the drop, and, you know, one thing led to another. My mama ended up finding out what happened, and she named me after my uncle Terry, after Terrence. So my name Terrancé, Terrence with the hyphen. Know, so with Terrence with the hyphen, you know, so that was that. But it was very, you know, dysfunctional growing up, you know, with my father, you know, addicted to heroin, and moms, single moms, you know, trying to raise that and get our kids, you know, away from that. And with my father suffering from that sickness, because I realize now that addiction is a sickness. I used to hate my father, but now that I'm aware and I understand that addiction, it was actually a sickness. So that sickness caused him to cause a lot of damage to me. And so, you know, with my mom's noticing that, she did her best, you know, to escape. And her escape, you know, with her coming up single parent, no moms, no father, no grandparents, no help and no support. So her fleeing from that situation, you know, having no money, no help, no support, what happens to, you know, our average black family born, you know what I'm saying, poverty, no help and no resource, you end up moving in projects. And that was the last thing my mama said that she ever wanted to do, was move her kids to a project. But we ended up moving to the projects in Gary, Indiana, you know, which back then, you know, they was like one of the murder capitals of the world. So now I'm exposed, you know, so my mama trying to take us from a father, a parent that was addicted to drugs. So now we go from an individual that's addicted to drugs. Now we go into a whole community, a whole community of drugs, you know. But my mom, she, you know, she wasn't setting us up to fail, but it was survival mode. So it was all about surviving. But so then I got exposed to a young age. So we moved from St. Louis when I was around about 5-6 years old, you know, about 5-6 years old. So moved to Gary, Indiana, exposed to, you know, the drugs, the gangs, the violence and everything like that. But coming up, I was a quiet kid though. You know, I was a quiet kid, kind of, you know, to myself and shy. But because a lot of things, now that I'm outspoken now though, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not as quiet as I would. And now it called me to challenge myself now that I got more education and self-awareness and have evolved into the person who I am, and looking back at the younger me and the younger Terrancé, and I had to question myself. Was it quietness or was it the trauma, you know, that I went through? Was I acting out of trauma? Because at a very young age, at 5, they used to call me stupid. They used to call me dumb because I couldn't learn. I wasn't the average kids you can repeat your ABCs to, and I'm finna repeat my ABCs back to. I had problem, you know, pronouncing certain letters and stuff like that, you know, man. And so I was struggling for that, but bro, there was things that transpired in my life, you know, that caused me to be, you know, quiet and reserved. I used to sit in the corner when I was young and just shake a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things, like a lot of kids now that they got issues, bro. You know, and a lot of people, these kids don't know how to talk about what they're going through because of embarrassment and shame. They ain't got the words, the vocabulary, and they don't know what's going on. So I was one of them kids that's growing up in there, and then I had an older brother, and me and my older brother was clashing.
Right.
We clashed because at first, before my sister was born, me and my big brother, we were clashing because my father, you know, just give me a little back. You just add some background, I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So my father heard that he kidnapped my brother. You know, when he was younger, so he kidnapped him. You know, he hated me, so he did things to me because he hated me, but he loved my big brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So even though I look like the man, I look more like him than my brother do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, he didn't want me or nothing like that. But he wanted my brother, so he kidnapped my brother. But while he kidnapped my brother, before that he turned my brother against me. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, and my brother, he like a year and half older than me. So, you know, I remember people telling me, my father telling me, you know what I'm saying, I make your brother kill you, little nigga. Little nigga, I make your brother kill you, you know, and little stuff like that, man. So growing up, going through all of that stuff, psychologically, I was kind of messed up.
Right.
So, you know, they wondering why I wasn't stupid, bro. You know, I wasn't. I was just traumatized by everything that I went through. So coming through that, you know, and going from one neighborhood to the next, but it was all drugs. Like, it was just seeing all of that. And I didn't really just get involved in it until I was like 12, though. Mm-hmm. When we got like 12 and we moved to Milwaukee, so Gibbs, St. Louis, stuff like that. It was domestic issues. Mom's trying to save her children, get away from these deadbeat dudes, you know, that, you know, not trying to take care of her, you know, and take advantage and stuff like that. So mom wasn't going, so she always, you know, run to save her children. But it's from one bad spot to another. Cause moms ain't had like a sister saying, well, okay, can I come stay with you? You know, I need to get away. Can I come stay with you? Or grandma, where I can move back in the house with my children. So mom didn't have that cushion. She ain't had that type of that advantage, so she had a disadvantage all on her own. Mm-hmm. You know, so coming from that, then she come from the abuse too as well. So, you know, she trying to manage and navigate through it all, through the whole system of the dysfunction, the concentrated poverty, the system that was set up before my mom was ever born. You and I was ever born, so I'm exposed to all that. So by the age of 12 years old, the shy kid in me, like, that's over. Because even though when I was in the projects growing up, bro, you know, you can't be black, young, and a black male in a project and be quiet. You can't be there, bro. Not at the schools where I'm going to. Right. We got police presence at our school. I'm in goddamn middle school, bro. It's police at our school. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's gangs at our school. So to be quiet or be anything like that, you gonna get bullied. You gonna get picked on and stuff like that. So I ain't with none of that. You know, getting bullied, any of that. So age 12, bro, you know what I'm saying, to survive and to get out of that realm where I am a target because I'm quiet and reserved and shy. I'm like, forget it, bro. I told my mom I ain't finna be quiet no more, bro. I got affiliated. I forget out, cause my brother, he was already down with that. You know, all the community, my surroundings was already like that. Yeah. So I'm like, man, shoot, I'm tired of being quiet, man. I'm finna get down. You know what I'm saying? So I got affiliated at the age of 12. You know, everything, drug, all this stuff around me. So I started experimenting with drugs at the age of 12. Bro, the first time I got high, man, it was like the best thing in the world to me at 12 years old.
So what was your drug of choice when you got high?
What was around me, it was weed.
It was weed, okay.
So it was weed. They weren't with the blunts, but it wasn't blunts, but then it was bats. You remember? Yeah. Bro, no fat blacks, bro. Fat bats, yeah. You know, so I'm smoking the bats, bro, you know, and then I remember my brother, I remember in the bed, he came in because he was in the juvenile, he's in the group home. He came in on weekends, visits. He like, bro, hit this cigarette. You know what I'm saying? I'm 12. He woke me out of bed like, here, hit this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Bro, and then when I hit that square, and I was like, what? You know what I mean? And then it was like the best feelings in the world. The weed, man, it was cigarette, bro. And then they would get me drunk too. Man, bro, I'm saying, because everyone I was hanging out with at the age of 12 and 14, bro, they was like our ages. Right. Cause I'm affiliated, so now I'm around OGs, I'm around all the other people, so they hear love, you know what I'm saying? I don't use the word nigga, but since I'm just giving it to you real, I want to keep it raw, you know what I'm saying? So they like, here, 12 years old, like, here, little nigga, you know what I'm saying? Hit the blunt, here, hit that, you know what I'm saying? Hit that bottle. And back then, it was 40s. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all that, bro. It was 40s, OE, you know what I'm saying? St. Ives. Yeah, you already know. So, yeah, so, man, like, I'm 12 years old. Yeah, they passing me the 40. You know, so I'm drunk and all of that stuff, bro. But it was the best feeling in the world, man, because it was like, that was my escape.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It was escape, bro. Yeah. It was like, it numbed me. It numbed in me. So I ain't feel the pain that I was going through. You know, it was like escape. It took me away from this world. As long as I was high, I was good. And I was like, dang. So moms wasn't going though. When she found out what happened, mom was strict. So mom just tried to punish me. She tried to beat it out of me. She tried to do all that stuff. But I'm like, bro, I'm still finna do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? So with that being here, that shot, caught my first charge at 12. Stealing cars, just getting out there like, yeah, they doing this. So to me to be cool and not be quiet, what was going on? So you finna do what the cool dudes, the popular dudes, you know what I'm saying, who getting the respect. The dude who respected in the hood. I want to get respect, bro. I want the love, I want the respect, I want the acceptance. So you know what they doing? Stealing cars, drinking, smoking, having sex. You know what I'm saying, bro? I almost had my first baby at 13 because I'm sexually active at 12. I'm sexually active. I'm doing all these other things. So I had all these internal struggles, bro, and I'm keeping it solid. So I struggle with everything because I'm shorter than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? My nose would be ready to pick on my nose, all of that stuff. So the day I had all type of insecurities, self-esteem issues, all that other stuff, bro. And I even struggle with sexuality, all that stuff. I'm keeping it real. Like, I'm the messenger, bro. I go to the kids. I'm finna tell you what ain't no one else finna tell you. So with kids that struggling with these eternal stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm the voice. You know, I'm gonna be the voice for all of them. So I struggle with all of that stuff. So to escape from all of that, bro, I became somebody I wasn't.
Gotcha.
I became somebody I wasn't just to be accepted. For real. So that was my early ages. Coming up. That's 12, but my life didn't stop though, bro.
Right.
For real.
So let me ask you this. So, okay, and I appreciate the realness and the honesty, bro. Because it's very hard for us as black men to really dig deep, man, and keep it real. You know, we need that transparency, and I appreciate that. So,
definitely.
All right, so let me ask you this. For the people out there watching, take me through your initial crime. Like, what were you charged with?
This one?
Yeah.
The one I got locked up on the stretch?
Yeah, when you did the long stretch.
When I did the long stretch. Alright, so coming off of, I was 16. This when I was in Omaha, Nebraska. And I was living in Omaha, Nebraska, you know what I'm saying? And I had just got shot. I was 16, got shot in my stomach. I was paralyzed from the waist on down, and I couldn't walk.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I was paralyzed from the waist on down, couldn't walk. But God, by the grace of God, I got my feeling back in my leg. Like, so mom, I got to get my kids again, trying to rescue her kids and stuff. Me and my brother both got shot the same night. So my mother could have been. It's three of us, two boys and a little girl. My mama could have been deprived of both of her sons at the same time. Wow. So at the same time, but it's crazy because my story is, you would think my story is unique or different, but it's not, because there's so many young black kids out there that's like me and my brother, so my mom moved her to Nashville to get away. You know what I'm saying, to save us. So we moved to Nashville and everything. I'm going to school and everything, bro. But this the thing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a cause and effect to everything. It wasn't like I just came out the blue and want to commit this charge. So I started going to, the school. I was behind in just a little credits because, being out of school, being shot and stuff like that. I go to this school. I'm 16. I'm supposed to be a senior next year. They telling me I'm not going to graduate, right? But they telling me if you go to an alternative school, you can catch up with your credits. I tell moms, Mom, look, if I go to an alternative school, they saying that I can graduate on time. Moms ain't having it. But I understand now that I'm older and I mentor kids and I know what the system like. So I didn't know back then what an alternative school was.
Right.
But now that I know what an alternative school is and how it's designed, those are kids that they want to throw away. Those are violent kids, the behavior kids. And mom's like, my child ain't finna be around all that. But I didn't understand that as a kid, as a youth, we think we grown, know it all.
Right.
So mom's like, you can go back to the school or you get out of my house. I had one of them old school moms, my way or no way, bro. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm grown anyway. I'm 16. You couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah. At the age of 16, I thought I was too grown. I was 16 years old. I was messing with women in their 30, 20. So, bro, I was too grown at 16. And I'm hanging around your age. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was too grown. Oh, you give me an alternative? All right, bam. But I moved up to that. I ain't really know nobody, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't hang with nobody. So I was the type though, bro. I was working. I had a job at Walmart. I was working because everyone I hung with, I promise you, my whole circle wasn't nothing but drug dealers, pimps, hustlers, max, gangsters, bro. This was my whole circle. I promise you. I was the only one. So I was 16 out of 20, 30, 40-year-old ballers, gangsters, bro. I'm telling you. So with me, bro, I ain't never sell drugs. I tried to sell drugs maybe once or twice, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't for me. I didn't want to do it because my father was addicted to heroin. I hated drugs. I seen what they did to me. I seen what they did to my family. So I'm like, I'm not finna sell drugs. I hated to see people, my friends, my best friends' moms was on crack. You know what I'm saying? They was strung out. We used to sit around telling each other stories while we getting high. You know what I'm saying? And we all talking about that. And I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it out the hood a different way. So anyway, instead of me, selling drugs or robbing, doing like that, I work. I'm like, man, I'm work. And then, I wanted to do film when I was young.
Right.
So I was like, bro, I'm going to Hollywood. Hollywood is my way out the hood. Hollywood my way out the hood. So that was my angle. But then when I left home and mom gave me that alternative and I ain't really know nobody up there and I ain't had nowhere to stay, bro, I started sleeping in abandoned buildings. So I would turn 17. I would start sleeping in abandoned buildings, bro. I was just out there. And I had lost myself. I began to lose myself. I started to do things out of character. I had this big old fight with my big brother, had a fight with my mama and all of this stuff. So now I'm like, forget it. This kid that was in me that was trying to hold on and not do the right thing, not do the wrong things to get locked up or be like my daddy, you know what I'm saying? He lost himself. And I ain't had nothing or no one to tell like what was going on with me. So hooking up with the wrong people, out there drinking, out there doing all this, needed some money. Hooked up with some people, some in the hood that I don't normally, a couple of them, you know what I'm saying, I really kicked it with, but not all of them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gotta get, like, we're gonna get some money, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, ended up committing a charge that I wouldn't normally commit. Like, we're gonna get some money, whatever, seeing somebody, but this whole day was a bogus mission, though. I'm telling you, bro, we got into a shootout with, people on the interstate. It was crazy. God, man, it was just wild, but it was really crazy, man. I was just out there. I ain't care no more. I was reckless. I ain't even care. All right, y'all don't care about it. You giving me an alternative, and then you still calling me. You still doing this. Bam, I'm be bucking. Forget it. I don't care no more. So all that what I said I wasn't gonna do, I'm doing it now. So this a whole nother Terrancé. This the Terrancé y'all want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm finna give you this Terrancé. Yeah, right. So all right, so they got that. Ended up, man, carjacking gone bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even want to do that. Wasn't expect to do that. So it turned into a carjacking. Someone got shot. Thank God, that he lived through that, but he got shot. The bullet still is in his chest, not a day. So I got arrested for doing that. They charged me with carjacking, attempted murder, robbery, and I think it was one other charge that they indicted me on. They indicted me on.
Some heavy charges.
Man, that was some heavy charges,
bro.
Yeah, you know. But then they ended up, and I was 17, so we had a juvenile. We had my transfer hearing. I went for the judge to see was they still gonna hold me as a youth or transfer me over there. Judge heard about my background, heard about everything that I've been through. I wasn't a typical kid out there, like you catching charge after charge. You know what I'm saying? That was the reason why I was doing this thing, So, but to them, the DA painted me as this monster.
Of course,
he this monster kid.
That's how they do it.
He reckless. He a threat to society. We gotta lock him up. We gotta take it out. But check this out. My crime was against a white man.
Gotcha.
So here you go, and I'm 17. I got braids. I got the typical young black stereotype, young black kid with braids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They literally, the state, they told, you know what I'm saying, that like we got to make sure that we let him know that he can't do this. We got to get him out of society. So bam, they transferred me over to the adult court, and then when they did that, my mama lost her mind. My mama had a nervous breakdown.
Golly.
And she lost her mind, bro. And then we lost everything. House, everything. My life, everything just fell apart. I'm bounded over. I'm from out of state. I don't know nobody. So they dropped all them charges, and then they just came up with one charge, especially aggravated robbery. But that carries from, 15 to 25 years. So here I am, my first felony, because when I was still in car, that was minor stuff, when I was young. But now I'm faced with 25 years max by myself. In the system, all by myself.
All by yourself, bro.
Yeah.
And you were 17, right?
Yeah, I had turned 17. I was in,
So did you have a bond? And if you did, were you able to pay to get out and fight your case on the street, or you stayed locked up the whole time?
No, I stayed locked up the whole time.
The whole
My
time.
bond, they gave me a bond, but my bond was $1 million. So I can't afford that. My bond was $1 million, bro.
That's
my bond was $1 million.
They might as well even gave you one.
They might well, but this the thing. So when I talk about my charge, bro, I had an illegal sentence. I just didn't serve a sentence. I had an illegal sentence out here. You looking at one, I was one of them cases, I'm not saying I was innocent or I didn't do anything. I take full responsibility for what I did out there. But the thing was, my case was a real conspiracy case.
Right.
Well, when you see one of them cases on there, like, dang, the judge was this and they were the crook and all this stuff happened. Like literally, my charge, bro, my whole situation was a whole conspiracy, bro. My judge was paid off. And I'm not out here saying it, bro. This ain't, I'm not one, oh, nah, I done lost him. No, literally, my judge was paid. There's articles, newspaper articles out there right now. My judge, bro, was arrested. After that, I was at the crash gate. After they gave me 20 years, bro. And I'm going to tell you how you know. When you go into these, if you ask, I'm going to tell you how you know that these facts. I was at the crash gate. Remember, my charge against a white guy.
Right.
I'm in the county. Williamson County, Franklin, Tennessee, bro.
Right.
Bunch of rednecks out there in that. You know what I'm saying? So they'll tell you right now, you don't want to, if you black, you don't want to get locked up in Williamson County. They'll tell you straight up.
Right.
Locked up. They gave me 20 years, bro. I'm at the crash gate. White dude bumped down at me at the crash gate. He said, man, Terrancé. He said, you cool, because they fooled with me when I was in the county. He said, man, Terrancé. He said, you cool. I didn't even know the dude. You know, came to me, I know what. He said, Terrancé. Man, you said you cool, dude. You know what? He said, that's messed up, bro. That messed up what they did to you. He said, man, my uncle paid the judge off.
Damn.
I promise you. He said, my uncle paid the judge off. Like 3-4 years later, my charge partner sent me an article. That same judge arrested for taking brabs.
What was
for
your
taking
judge,
money.
What was your judge's name?
There was Judge Harris. Okay. All of them, bro. I had Judge Harris and I had Judge Nation.
Gotcha.
I had Judge Harris and I had Judge Nation. So these judges right there, you know what they used to give me 20 years?
What's that?
Man, they used to give me, like I said, I ain't had no criminal record. I got arrested when I was 12 years old for the stealing cars, right? But there never was a car. Somebody just seen us out there at a car, called the police, and they came and arrested us. So there wasn't no car. So the judge asked me at the sentencing hearing, you know, keep in mind, bro, I represented myself at court.
Okay.
18 years old, 10th grade, you know, education, no legal experience, anything. Gave me this white lawyer, never came to see me. I wrote the judge several times, Judge, please send for me. My lawyer is not in my best interest. He's not coming to see me. Please, I need help. Please, I got my letters. In parentheses, Judge, please help. Never sent for me until the day of my trial. 10 years, bro, wow. 18 years old, in court, representing himself. I got no family. I got no nothing. I got no my vocabulary guard. But anyway,
now this was a state charge, not a federal charge.
Yeah,
right?
It was a state charge.
Okay, state charge. Okay,
it was a state charge. You know what I'm saying? But you know the charge are still federal, but they didn't, because they was like carjacking is a federal offense. But they're like, we're not gonna pick it up. Yeah. They wanted me with the state. You wanna know why?
Right.
Because them judges, the white person that cut my charge, boy, his parents was rich. They had money. They had plenty much money. Right. Here I am, young black poor kid. You know, I ain't got no parents. They see all that stuff. You know, so even before the judge let me represent myself, he looking around, and I'm in the courtroom by myself. 10th grade education, know nothing about the law. You represent yourself. I represented myself. He asked me at the sentencing hearing, you ever been convicted of a crime? I said, yeah, 12 years old. I was arrested for stealing cars, bro. Never asked me what was the problem, because you can't use a juvenile record against them. You can't bring up a juvenile record. I'm not a juvenile at the time. Right. And the only how you can use it if that was a felony, if there was a felony conviction, you know what I'm saying, of like murder or something like that, then you can, you know, bring up that. But other than that record is sealed. You can't use that against them. There was no price in that car to even say that would have been a felony at all. Man, that judge, when I was 12 years old, he said, okay, you was convicted, you 12 years old stealing cars. He said, okay, I'm finna enhance it, because you had to go use the enhancing factor. He said, I'm finna use that enhancing factor right there. He went from that, because he started at the mid-range, went up and gave me 20 years. Gave me 20 years for that.
And what was your percentage of
100%.
100%.
First time, no felony, no background, no nothing. That judge gave me 20 years, bro, at 100%, based off of me telling him that I was arrested for stealing cars when I was 12 years old.
Wow. Okay. God. Okay. So for the people to understand, okay, so you received 20 years in prison. You served how much of that time?
I served 85% there. So when you get your sentence at 100%, based on the Tennessee state sentencing laws, you can earn up to 15%. Good time, good credit, what they call it.
Right.
So I earned those. So I got 15% of my good time, which dropped my time down from 20 years into 17. So I went in there, at 17, got out when I was 34. So I served half of my life in prison.
Half of your life.
I served 17
That's
years.
a long time.
A little bit over 17 years because they kept me longer.
They kept you a little
than
bit
what
longer.
they were supposed to keep me. So I served a little more than half of my life in a cage in prison on an illegal sentence.
Okay, so you had spoke about gang affiliation, right?
Yeah.
So do you mind telling us and the people what gang you were affiliated with?
Now that I don't do. So
Okay.
and the reason why I don't do that is because still out of respect for the organization that I was affiliated with.
That's
I
respect.
still keep my code of honors. I still keep
That's
them.
respect.
Even though I serve God to the fullest, bro, I'm still, solid at the heart. I'm not one of them going like I was this and I was that and I'm finna expose and tell everything. I can tell you why I was in it, things that happened I was in it, but I never expose or put it in a negative light because it was negative and positive. And out of respect to where I come from, you know what I'm saying? I still want to keep, I'm still moving with code of silence, but I'm not disrespecting it. It's still honor with that, so.
I can respect that.
Right.
I can respect that, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so give me a little bit about prison life for you. Like, how was prison life for you?
Prison life.
Yeah.
How's it like being a slave? Because that's what it was. If you go according to the 13th Amendment, I was a slave.
Definitely.
I would ask me, how was it like being a slave?
Cage.
Right, cage.
dungeon.
Yeah, right. So what the 13th Amendment say? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We about slavery, except if one convicted of a felony, then you could become a slave.
Yeah.
So how was it like being a slave?
So tell me how it was like being caged as a slave,
As a slave,
in the state
bro.
of Tennessee.
Man, in the state of Tennessee,
Yeah.
wow. So it was a journey. The first years of me being locked up was the hardest years of my life. That was because of the effect that it had on my family.
Yeah.
So if it was just me, I don't believe that prison could have broke me. If it was just me, I would have bucked. I would have stayed probably as I am because no one going to prison really want to change. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't asked to be there. So I ain't asked to be there. But immediately when I got locked up, my mom used to tell me all the time that, God caused something to happen to you or take somebody closest to you away from you just to get your attention. And I used to never understand that when she used to try to tell me, don't do that, you don't need to be doing this, God saying that. So immediately when I got locked up, like I said, once I got bounded over, my mom had a nervous breakdown. She lost her mind. And I love my mama. I love my mama to death. But I put the streets before my mama. I put so many things before my mama. And not only that, it's my little sister. So my little sister, she ain't had no dad. Like neither one of our daddy wanted us. So I'm 5 years older than my little sister. And my brother, he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He doing other things. Then we had a relationship. So to me and my sister, I was her father. I helped raise her. She was like my daughter. I combed her hair. I had to cook. I walked her to the bus stop. I was to protect. So I told her, you don't need no daddy. I'm your daddy. I'll raise you. So it was like I had to cover and protect her. And when I got locked up, I failed her. What I'm saying? I failed my sister. I failed her. With that weighing on me now, my mama, mine is gone. We lost house. They writing me saying, man, Terrancé, bro, all y'all furniture on the side of the curb, all your clothes, they around the hood wearing your clothes, bro. And I'm seeing all that. And I'm like, ain't nothing I can do. I can't help my family. I can't help doing nothing. So before my mama lost her mind, she gave me her granddaddy's Bible, which I got his middle name, and a dictionary. And she said, a dictionary and thesaurus. And she said, get close to God and educate yourself. So my journey began off seeking God because now I'm like, how do I save my mama? And the only thing going in my mind is why they say train up a child in the way they should go. And they will not depart because those seeds I had planted. So I had seeds rooted in me of faith. And I seen my mama through the struggle praying with God. I seen my mama fasting through the struggle, bro. Crying out to God, moving. Because when we used to move from state to state, my mama just up and leave. We'll move to states, bro, and my mama not even know. We didn't have nobody. So we in shelters. We in it. But my mama always say...
That's a bad day for somebody.
Yeah, right.
Bad day for somebody. Yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Nah, we here in the Sahara, but
yeah.
So with me seeing the example of my mom's, my mom used to always tell the God to make a way. I said, my God ain't gonna keep on making. You can't keep doing this. But right. God always made a way. So I ended up, man, just starting to seek God at a young. While I was in there, and I was like, God, I done what what drunk people do when they want to get sober. They've been drinking too much, and they might brain, and you know, God, if you just make them promises to God, So I made a promise, negotiate. God, if you give my mama back her mind. Just please give my mom back her mind. And then I got a call and they told my mama missing. So my mom was missing for like a couple months. So a female friend of mine came to stay with my sister. So I'm like, God dang, my mom's is missing. She dead. And I'm like, God, if you bring my mama back, I give up the affiliation. I quit smoking. I quit cussing. I ain't gonna do none of this stuff. Just please bring my mom back and save my sister. Because ain't nobody out there with her. And we from out of town. So we ain't got nobody. Like, I'm like, God, and then I done this. So the guilt is on me. I'm feeling all this guilt. I'm like, God, please. I'm hating myself. I'm like, what did you do? Like, God dang, when you wake up and come to yourself, I wake up and I came to myself like, God, please. But he brought her back. But he brought her back and she wasn't in her right mind. Damn. So I couldn't give up on that promise. I'm like, dang, she going, man, it broke my heart, bro. It broke me. So I started to see God. And I started fasting and started praying to God, bring my mama back, give her mind, save myself, my sister. And one day in the county jail, bro, I promise you, God came in that cell and saved me. I was crying out to God, bro, broken. I'm talking about crying like snot out my nose, like God help my family. I'm facing 20 years. You know I didn't do this. You know I'm not this monster that they sent. You know why I'm in here. I tried to do the right thing. I got real with God, bro. I'm telling you. And while I'm crying out to God, like my father was never there. He did this to me. My brother did this to me. These people did this to me. I asked you, you ain't never saved me. You know I ain't doing. Man, I promise you, man, a spirit came up in that cell, bro. I had a real encounter with God. And man, God, something happened to me and I felt the presence of God. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And all them tears, bro, just turned to joy. And when I was telling God, like my father, God told me in that cell that night, bro. He told me, man, you my son. Like, I'm your father now. Mm-hmm. I'm your father. So that day, I jumped on the spiritual journey. I went and told the brothers, I'm done. I ain't affiliated no more. Y'all can have, I don't care whatever y'all do to me, because it was death before dishonor anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm a man before I'm anything. So whatever I got to do to be a man, I'm going to stand as a man. I'm finna get on this cross, I'm finna see God, man. I put my family before you. I put the streets. I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah.
So then, after they gave me the time, I went to the penitentiary. Did what my mama told me to do. I started educating myself. I started reading that dictionary. Started writing. I started learning. When I was younger, my mama used to have us to read one word a day. She like, memorize a word a day. But remember, I was functionally literate, so I'm trying, but I really can't, So she like, memorize a word a day. So I started doing that now. I'm memorizing words, and then all of a sudden when I'm reading the Bible that I never read before, I'm asking God to help me comprehend, because I was like, I'm stupid. I literally told God, I'm stupid.
Right.
So, but then I learned, bro. I started learning. And my mind started opening up. So I started going to job, started educating myself, started finding myself, started finding my word, bro. I started healing and everything. That my mind became conscious to what was going on in the prisons with the black community and all this stuff. So I just got on this spiritual journey and then this, discovery of myself, Right.
So that was your path to internal freedom.
Yeah.
You were preparing yourself education-wise to have the mindset to be able, to articulate, because you articulate yourself very well.
Yeah, appreciate that.
For everybody, that's watching, Terrancé and I are in an organizing space together for nonprofits, and this brother right here, when he speaks, is powerful. You feel it, you get, hairs on your arms, goosebumps, everything. And you would never had I didn't even know how deep, because we never really got on a deep,
right.
You know what I'm saying, a journey about our past.
Yeah.
But me knowing that, know where you are now,
right.
Man, that speaks volume about your character, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. And, for God to be able to reach inside of you, man, and bring that Terrancé out.
Yeah.
That Terrancé, that Terrancé, the man that I know, man, that's powerful. That's real powerful, bro. Okay, so you had no parole.
No parole.
No parole. So whatever the time that you do, once your 15% was over, you knew that was it.
No, I was a peer. I never thought that I was gonna do 17 years.
Okay, so you were still fighting.
I was fighting,
trying
bro.
to get them
Yes.
this illegal sentence back.
Yes, of
Gotcha.
course.
Gotcha.
I didn't lay that down.
Yes,
I
sir.
fought until I got free, liberal. I didn't get free, man. You know, my time expired. But from the day one to the last day, I walked out them goddamn gates. I fought for my freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go a little bit further. So you finally know at what point in time did you know that you were about to be released?
Yeah. The countdown, like, because your time sheet, so they give you time sheets.
Right.
The time sheet telling me, I'll get out September the 25th of 2024.
Gotcha.
So I know the day coming because my time sheet there,
Right.
my time sheet. Once the federal Supreme Court, because that was the last, like, they got different stages, different levels, that you go through with your appeals. And my appeal, they kept on denying my appeals and stuff like that. But check this out, though. They said your trial was illegal. And my paperwork says that my trial was illegal. And the Supreme Court said that we are at, what they said, a bind. They said we don't know what to do. They said we don't know what to do. But because I was one day, and this is what I want us to do to get a bill, bro. I was one day, I got time barred. The Supreme Court, after that, I got time barred because after appealing from the Supreme Court, you got a time. And if you don't file your paperwork within a certain amount of time, the court won't hear your case.
Exactly.
I was one day.
One day.
And so I made it all the way up there to the Supreme Court. They like, dang, we confused and everything, but they wouldn't let it go on. Now I'm time barred and all this stuff, but they said in the paperwork, yeah, your stuff illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I knew then, and I probably had about 5 more years. 5 more years to do. That's hard though, but it's just the same thing when you getting denied parole. To get that letter, you open it up and denied. So I knew within 5 years, I had to lay it down. I had to go and lay it down, but I was a fighter, bro. I never laid anything down. I made that time work for me.
You did, brother.
I made that time work for me.
So
that time served me. I didn't serve the time.
You served the time, exactly.
Yeah, that
you
time
have to
served
do
me.
that, because if you don't, when you walk up out there, you're going to be through. So to segue into that part right there. So, all right, you spent your whole incarceration preparing for that moment to walk out free.
Yeah.
Okay, so that first day out.
Yeah.
How did you feel? What was it like? What was going through your head? 17 years is a long time, bro.
17 years.
That's a long time, man.
It is a long time.
So, like, your first day out, you walk out the door.
Right.
You in the parking lot. What prison were you released from?
Hardeman County, correct.
Hardeman County, and that's in...
Yes,
that's in West Tennessee, right?
Whiteville, Tennessee.
When
they said I'm sending you to White, and I'm not racist at all, but you know what I'm saying?
He's not.
I'm not racist at all. I love all people. People know that. Yeah, but they sent this young black kid to Whiteville, Tennessee.
Yeah, so
I was like, I'm doomed. I said, it's over. I said, he get me. And they railroaded me, and then they sent me to Whiteville, Tennessee. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm dead. I'm dead now,
so how
bro.
many prisons did you actually serve your time?
I stayed at one. But I could have left. I had plenty of opportunities to leave. I stayed at one, though.
One prison? Okay. All right.
I stayed at one prison.
So you walk out the door, and how did you feel, man, when you walked out, and just touched down? Because, for me, I didn't feel free until I drove off the parking lot.
Did
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew I knew I was free, but I didn't really feel safe in my freedom until so tell me what that was like for you. Walking out of prison.
All right, but check this out. So vision is everything. Perception is everything.
Right.
I took my mind out of prison a long time before I was released from there.
Right.
So I had to make sure, because people was walking around calling themselves convicts, inmates, and all of that stuff.
I hated those labels, man.
Yeah, they did. And so since when you were locked up, you go from being a human being, a civilian, to a number. Like when we talking about slavery is real, it is real. You become property. So your name, they try to take my identity, to make me a number, to degrade me, to dehumanize me down to just a number. When from Terrancé being a number, I said, no, I will not be dehumanized. I will maintain my dignity. So the way I did that, God told me to take your mind out of there. So I took my mind out of there. And the environment and everything, bro, to keep my mind from becoming institutionalized, I usually imagine that imagination is everything. I imagined that I was free. I always imagined that I was in the world. So just take for instance, when I was going to class, and when I got my GED, yeah, I got that, baby.
Yes,
I
sir.
got that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I slept in the bed with the book. You know what I'm saying?
You told me
yeah,
that. I love that when you told me that.
I get that.
I love that,
But
yeah.
when I used to go to school up in there, bro, like Malcolm X said, you know, when Malcolm X was locked up, you know, these prison, you know, that could be institutional, or it can be your university.
Yes, sir.
So with me, in my mind state, with me keeping my mind free, when I was walking down those hallways and going to classroom in prison, in my mind, I was walking down, because I got out and I went to Nashville State Community College. Now, my mind, I'm educated now, I can learn, I'm smart. Like, bro, the sky's the limit for me. I can read now. Yeah. I'm like, bro, I'm going to college when I get out. I'm breaking these cycles, you feel me?
Sir.
So, in my mind, going down the hallways to the classroom, I was like, man, I'm going to college. I was walking down the hallways of college while everyone else walking down there. When they gave us, you know, on the pants leg and on the coat on your back, was TDOC, Department of Tennessee, the Department of Corrections.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tennessee Department of Corrections.
Yeah.
Tennessee Department of Corrections, bro. I changed that. So mine was totally dependent on Christ. So I'm not property no more.
Yeah.
I'm in God now. Mm-hmm. So everything that I see, when I came out at the tables in the pod, bro, I was coming out. In my mind, I was an entrepreneur. I'm going to get out, and one day I had a vision. One day I'm going to be a businessman. So when I used to come out at the tables, I usually imagine, I say, this is my office. I used to literally get dressed up. People getting sharp with their blues on. I used to be sharp too with them blues on, bro. Man, creasing them with the soup and the soap dish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we doing all that. But when I come out to the table and sitting at the table, other people come out to the table just reading their Bibles and paper. I'm coming out in my establishment. This is my business. That table is my business. The cell is my office. So when everyone else is in prison and they all that, I kept my mind out of there.
Beautiful, man.
Anyone ever called out of my name a number? My name is Terrancé. They be like, Terrence, no, Terrancé. When they call me Akins, my name is Akins. You know, so I was never in. So once I found God in really true liberation, then I was free. So when I got out of prison, bro, it was like a transition from one place to another. It wasn't like the only thing was, you know, my family being there and being able to, you know, because I always kept my mind free. So I promise you, I've been free. When God set me free, I was free inside. So I took my power back. Yes, they didn't have the power to tell me when I was going to be free. You know what I'm saying? Because real freedom, I learned, come from within and not without. Because you got a lot of people in society, bro, they in bondage, they locked up in their minds.
And the worst prison we was ever in.
It's the mind state. So, but my mind was free. I said, you can take my body, but you can't take my mind. Mm-hmm. So my mind was free. So when I transitioned out there, it was beautiful and everything. I was like, my family was there holding my family. I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. But, you know, so it was a beautiful time just being reunited with my family. And now I got all these dreams. I'm finna pursue. The world is mine now. So that's what I was like, the world is mine. But it never was a place where now I'm free, because I became free way longer before they released me. I got my liberation in God, not, you know what I'm saying, no penitentiary.
So for the people watching,
tell
me a little bit about your future goals. Like from this point, moving forward, what does the next 3 to 5 years look like for you?
Yeah, the next 3 to 5 years for me, that's only God really knows it. I'm be honest with you, only really God knows. We make plans, but only real God knows. But to plan it for me is right now because I'm focused, you know. And as of right now, because I had to pull back, because when I got out, I've been out for 10 years now.
10 years, man.
And when I got out, you know, I hit the ground run. I did a whole lot of things, but one thing that I did do, I neglected myself. Mm-hmm. I really neglected myself, and I put everyone else's dreams and goals before my own. So right now, you know, I'm pulling back from that. I've healed in a lot of areas. So now I'm back pursuing my dreams and goals.
Right.
And that looked like, so I do have a nonprofit. I got my own nonprofit organization.
Right.
You know, so I write music. Mm-hmm. I do music. I do clothes too, like yours. But all of this is my football team. This is my superstar team, but it's my dynasty. Right. And it feed off of everything. So I'm a revolutionist. So, you know, my thing, like what I got on right now, the youth is my heart. Like reverse, you know, revolution. So it's all about the children with me. So Reverse was all about empowering youth, to reform their own lives and communities. So I'm all about the revolution. So how do we get out here and empower our people to bring them up out of one state into another, to a place of empowerment? The poor, those who, oppress, those who disenfranchise, So that's what I'm after. So I see my business, all of these businesses and these entities and these visions that God have given me to branch and start, this powerful revolution that's finna shift some things. So that's why I see in 3 or 5 years, I don't know where this finna lead me, but that is the journey that I'm on, though.
Gotcha. Okay. Powerful. Very powerful. So, in closing, for all the people out there, not just the brothers and sisters who are caged,
right?
In the system, what would be advice you would give to anybody that's struggling in life, that's trying to redefine themselves, change their mindset? How would you encourage them, and what would you say to help guide them to the right track in life?
Yeah. Well, number one is I won't be here, and this ain't church, but you ain't gotta be church. I don't have no religion.
Right.
But spirituality is so important. And to have that relationship with God, because that relationship with God granted me a relationship with myself. And now I walk in truth, and now I walk in honesty. So I would urge people, like I said, freedom is a state of mind. It's not a state of being. But you can be free. When I was young, I thought that there wasn't no hope for me. So I gave up on a lot of things because I thought there was no hope. I thought that I'd be like this for the rest of my life, that I was stuck, that I couldn't break that cycle. Right. But you can break a cycle, so don't never think that there's not no hope for you. No matter if you come from poverty, no matter if you struggle with any type of identities, no matter if, you out there being bullied, if you feel less than, if you feel unworthy, you ain't got to compare yourself to nobody else. Be you. Be yourself. You ain't got to compare yourself to nobody else. I wish I can go back, and just be genuine who I am and know that I was good enough and know, I don't have to compete. I don't have to compare. I don't have to compete. I don't have to compare. I don't got to be no one else for myself.
That's right.
So I would urge people to, no matter where you come from or no matter what you're struggling, no matter what you're going through, never give up hope. Find God because God loves you. Love yourself. That's the key thing, bro. Love yourself.
Absolutely.
Love yourself.
Well, brother, listen, this has been thought-provoking, powerful. Yeah. I know more about you now, even though I spent a lot of time with you, doing our thing.
Right.
I want to thank you for coming.
Great brother, by the way. Solid.
I appreciate that.
Man, big brother right here. A1, solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I thank you, man. And I'm pretty sure that anybody and everybody watching this is going to really, this was heartfelt. This is really heartfelt, brother. And I appreciate you being transparent. I appreciate you coming out doing the interview. I want to thank Terrancé for coming out.
Thank you.
And this was powerful. I loved it. This is what life after life is all about, man.
Yeah.
Going through what you're going through and thriving after the fact. So this concludes our interview. Yeah. And I appreciate my brother from coming out.
Appreciate you, bro.
We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Peace.
Life after life. Yeah.